Hey,
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 Glad.
hey, how you doing? How are you?
Well, good. How are you?
So well, Aaron and Journeyers, I hope you are doing very well yourselves. Yes, this. Come on in, pull up a chair, or sing for me. Give me your voice, whatever you take this as.
Oh, yeah. I
I
saw
know.
that movie. Well, yeah, there you go.
You took your boys?
Yes, we took our boys yesterday. We took advantage of the holiday. Went and saw that Little Mermaid.
Oh, how was she? How's she doing?
She did not end up as foam, so already just
Wow.
so much better than
Way
the book.
way to reference Hans Christian Andersen.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Topical, guys. Topical.
Topical. Listen, how about did the Little Mermaid connect with herself
Ooh.
and others through
Did,
improv?
did you just work the theme into a major billion-dollar production?
I sure did, Aaron.
Respect,
Disney, if you're
respect.
watching, hire us.
You know what? The mermaid connected with both myself and my partner because we grew up on the show. My two little kids, they connected with individual moments, which, as I think about it, as a kid, might be just a little easier than it is to try to connect with a bigger idea or a full character. You might instead just kind of like that one time the seagull raps.
Mhm.
And spoilers. Did you not know that, Shannon? Did you not know that Scuttle, as played by Aquafina, has a rap song as written by Lin-Manuel Miranda?
Oh, come on, Lin Manuel. Lin Manuel is
Anyway,
like,
here we are on Disney Talk. No, this is on and off the show.
it's true. It's true. Repeat the thing. Repeat the thing. So you would say that it is easier maybe for a child to connect with.
A moment, a particular like scene or joke. It is for them to necessarily try to grasp the entirety of a character arc or the entirety of a movie.
You know, what a wonderful sentiment. Like for us all actually, instead of trying to grasp a moment or our lives or whatever in a huge swath, like let me understand every single part of the moment that I'm in. Where can I make one little bit of a connection so that I can stay present? Ooh, hoo,
Yeah.
hoo, hoo, hoo. In fact, when we talk, this is improv on and off the stage. If you don't know where you are, welcome. This is improv on and off the show. We do a
If
show.
you're lost, please do come in, Journey.
Come in. It's good to see you again. Uh, we talk about on stage when we are trying or when we are traversing through a scene, when we're moving through a scene, it can be hard to keep every single thing that has happened in the scene in your mind, right? Like where did we start? Who's this person's what's this person's name? What relationship are they to me? Who am I? Where are we? All of these things. But if you can connect to one thing, whether that's your mimed orange like or your own name or the environment, just pick one, you have a better chance of moving through the scene and the story because other people are there to support you. So you just have to connect to like one little bit.
Oh, I think it's even bigger than that, Shannon, because when my partner and I were watching this, and afterwards, when we talked about it, we didn't just remember the other version of this movie. We remembered ourselves having seen the movie. And so I was taking a little piece of my childhood, this person, like little me in front of the TV, and she was taking a little bit of her childhood. And then those moments connected because it was a shared experience, even though it was just a little bit. And I think
Yes.
that's, I don't know. I like it with everybody, but especially with my partner.
It's nice to connect with our partners. It's also nice to connect with our friends.
Oh yes.
And Aaron and I are friends, but we
Hmm.
also have another friend, Pam. Pam, come on up here.
Wait.
Let's join. Join us. Join us.
Hello.
Hi,
Hey,
Pam.
Pam.
Hi. How
How
are you
are
guys?
you?
Doing well. How are you all doing?
We're
Good.
we're good. We're good.
Oh.
We brought you on stage onto the show because you're an amazing person and have a deep insight. You are. You have a deep insight, a connection to self that I always admire whenever you and I are talking and we're about anything. And you'll drop just nuggets. Now I've set you up to drop nuggets. Listen, drop nuggets in your own the privacy of your own home. These are wisdom nuggets that we're talking about. So, but they're always nuggets of wisdom, and I always feel like you have a strong sense of connection to yourself. Can you show us or tell us about how connection's showing up in your life these days?
Oh, it's showing up in many ways, Shannon. With family, obviously. I'm a very family oriented and love spending time with my family. I also have lots of friends that I enjoy connecting with on different levels. I'm also active in my local sorority, so that's a
Mm,
different level of connection.
Mm.
And I'm subject just to go if I'm out at the farmers market or wherever, and I feel a bond with someone, I'll just walk up to them and say hello. So for
mhm.
me, I also enjoy connecting with nature, and I'm just a people person and I love building relationships. So yeah, connection for me is just, it's a given. It's something that I live for and I live by.
Absolutely.
Wow.
I'm gonna poke you a little bit, okay? Like this is an improv show. I'm gonna poke you
Okay.
just a little.
All right.
We've been talking about connection. I'm gonna poke you on disconnection a little bit and move towards this disconnection. You and I have been talking a little bit about your disconnect with the city, right? You've been talking, yeah, yeah.
You're
Your
going there. You're going there.
I
Going right there, aren't you?
yes, because I know that you're like passionate about how the
Man.
city has changed, how you have changed, and how you're finding it a little hard to like grasp, put your hooks back into the city of Austin.
It has been. I've lived here almost 27 years. And when I first moved here, I was really engaged in the city, always looking for events, always getting out and trying to experience the best that Austin had. But then life got in the way, different things happened, and I found myself actually the first thing I did was relocate to the suburb. So it's a little bit harder to get back into the city, but then different things, the events, Shannon, some of the events that came about in my life, from the caregiving of my parent and then losing that parent, and
Mhm,
just got really unplugged from the city. And when I came back, it was not a city that I recognized anymore. I
mhm,
mean, I didn't know downtown anymore. I didn't Domain. I'd visited several times, but it just was not the same Austin. And
mhm,
for me, also, the disconnection comes into play. Was there's always been a concern here with the African American
mhm,
community growing and then diminishing, growing and then diminishing. So when I first moved here, it was that way. And now 27 years later, it's still that way, and that's
mhm,
frustrating, for me. So
mhm.
um yeah, I mean, did I hopefully I answered your question explaining the disconnection that I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm excited. I am excited. Excited to talk about this because I know that Luke is like nodding and just like just waiting to sink his teeth into talking about this because as much as we do want to talk about connection and how to strengthen or build connection through improv, we do have to, and Luke and I have talked about this on our weekly shows, we do have to recognize that there is going to be disconnect. And
Mhm.
then how do we move through that disconnect? Uh, and what do we do? Do we want to move through it? Do we want to reconnect? All of these things. But for you, there is a want to reconnect to the city, right?
There is a want, and I'm pushing through. Although the city maybe is not what I thought it was 27 years ago, or what I'd hoped it would be. I'm still here, and I do believe in growing where you are planted. So
Mm,
I'm not going to just wither away. I'm going to maybe change and pivot my thought processes around what I'm looking for in the city, as long
mhm.
as I'm here, and find things that I can reconnect with here, or make new connections. Maybe
Ooh.
Barton Springs Pool or Zilker Park. 27 years ago when it was so many people here was awesome. And now for me, it's overcrowded and frustrating now. So
Mhm.
yeah, it's a matter, I think, of finding where my niche is, and what about Austin. I still love the nature, hiking, different things like that. So
Mhm.
I'll figure it out. I'm having difficulty even just identifying. There's so many events now.
Mhm.
Uh, so much is happening around the city. I'm having a
Mhm.
hard time finding them. I think we talked about that, Shannon, today. Just
Mhm.
finding out where events are and what's going on, and trying to make those connections at that level. It's just different.
Yeah.
You know, I'm hearing a lot of tones and themes that connect to our year theme, which is exploration. So it's
Mhm.
really great to hear you, Pam, that your pursuit to connection is an exploration of
Yes.
both the space and yourself,
Yep.
right? And that's beautiful. That's
It is. It is.
Yeah. I'm I wonder how we will end up at the end of this show because I'm interested to see what we pull in the pursuit of you continuing to be connected. Because one of the other things that I still hear is your want, and your you called it exploration, right? This want to be explorative and to connect. So
Yes.
and we talk about that in improv, right? We could just walk off stage. Like we could just give it up completely. But there has to be something, a drive to move us forward.
Desire.
Mhm.
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 Mhm. Okay. We've got a lot of Aaron.
Yeah. You ready?
Yeah, we've got a lot of stuff. Are you ready for an improv scene with me, Aaron?
I am. Are
Let's
you
do
ready?
this.
All right.
I'm ready.
Hmm. Desiree, this has been just the best friend anniversary I could imagine us having. You've been so. Oh, hey, what's going on? This we did all this fun stuff you planned. It was amazing.
I know. We did it all. Like I planned it all. We rode motorcycles through the mountains. We
Mhm.
dove off that diving board made of grass. We explored the caverns of this place and found
In one
little,
day.
yeah, I mean that was just one. But I'll tell you what, after all this exploring and like just being in the nature, Kev, I don't know if I know you anymore, man.
What?
I
What?
don't know. Like
Yes.
when I said jump off of that diving board
Grass.
made of grass,
Yeah.
you
Brad.
hesitated. You hesitated. You didn't just jump off. You like looked around to check if you were gonna hit something. I mean, don't you trust me?
I trust you explicitly, Desiree. I do. I was in the moment, and in that moment, I was very afraid that your ADHD had taken over and you might have skipped a beat. That's it. That is who I am. Sometimes I'm a little paranoid. That's who we are. A little jumpy, a little jumpy. Different kinds of jumpy.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't think I knew that. I
You got,
I remember when we were kids, when I said jump, you jumped. It's like you trusted me with your life. And now it's like I I don't even know. I don't even know if you'll eat the mussels that I cooked up. I cooked those mussels. I brought them from the river, and I do you want the mussels?
yes, of course I want the muscles, and I love the tiny forks, and I love the experience. And and I think it's okay for me to ask, how long did you boil them?
I mean, you're not supposed to. You just dunk them in the water. You just dunk them in little.
Desiree, how? Look at this scar right here on my chin. Okay, that is riding our bikes down the hill outside of the school. Okay, I got another one down here. I can't show anybody,
I
because
know.
it's just gnarly.
I
Like,
know.
you
I know.
yeah,
If I put you in that much danger, if I hurt you that much, why do you keep coming back, Kev? Like, why do we keep having this friend anniversary if you don't really oh, I'm getting it.
yeah.
Trust
I
me.
I I trust you, but I trust the entirety of you. Okay? I know you. Like, you're always going to have the best ideas,
I do.
and you're
I do.
always going to need a little help on execution. That is, why do you keep me around? It's not like I'm the most fun guy, but
You are.
I really know when to ask whether or not we definitely need our passports, whether we definitely need our passports, Desiree, or when we can kind of just get by on a driver's license,
I
right?
mean,
I know
Juan
when to ask those
is gonna
questions.
take us places. If we don't, Juan is gonna take us places. We don't need physical passports. The passport is in our minds, man.
I feel that, but the TSA and other customs officials have different opinions, and that's why I'm around, right? Like, I'm kind of like a translator, like a Desiree translator, you know,
You always keep us out of jail.
mostly
I mean, the one time, that was my
the
fault.
one time, and that was an experience.
Yeah.
For anniversary 5,
I
Desiree,
yeah,
no, go ahead.
no you.
I, you know, not a lot of people have been friends as long as we have been friends. Okay.
20
They
20
don't have the
plus
scars
years.
to show for it. They don't have the memory. They definitely don't have the scrapbooks, right? And I think you can't judge our friendship based on some other standards. That it's based on like what fits us. And what fits us is spark and fire and fireworks and like a bucket of sand just in case, right? And like new food and exciting things and some Imodium just in case. Like I am Kevin, but I'm also just in case.
All right. I got you a surprise.
I'm excited and worried.
Don't be worried. Um, I brought us some burgers. Some just like
Oh,
burgers. I did do the muscles. I did do the muscles, but I wanted to end on a note where we felt, like maybe we could drive 8 hours without stopping. You know what I mean?
yeah, we've done that. And, you know, when I first met you,
Yeah.
covered in mud, with like just the whole playground in your hair, I had no idea how much cooler you were going to get. But you're pretty damn cool, Desiree. You're
You're
pretty damn cool.
you're cool. You're cool too, Kev. Thank you. Thanks for tying my shoes when I needed them. And if you ever need anyone to tell you that your passport is in your mind, it's a good burger, right?
Did you put peanut butter on it?
I was just trying a thing, Kev. It's protein on protein. It's protein on protein. See. Luke, Pam, how'd we do? How you doing down there? Aaron, let's get Luke up here to talk to us about what we should be doing.
Can we get Luke between us? Can we get Luke between us?
Hello. Yeah. Oh, what a scene. That was great.
We
I
do what we can, Luke. Hi.
love
Hi.
it.
It says we don't really have to, I mean, it says drama therapist.
Yeah.
Thank you, Luke, for being here and for being awesome. And What you got? What you got for us?
Yeah. Well, yeah, want to talk drama therapeutically about the improv scene, and then we'll do an exercise, and we'll have discussion afterwards.
Love it.
So we had Desiree and we had Kevin or Kev. So Desiree was very spontaneous, and then we had Kevin who was cautious and yeah. So there was a question of like trust. Were there any other themes that were going on about your friendship that you found?
I felt like Desiree was going through doubt. There was a little bit of self doubt and doubt in the relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think Kevin was trying to get on the same page, trying to connect very much. That seemed to be the main one for the character.
Yeah, trying to connect. Yeah, trying to reconnect and all that stuff.
Mhm.
Cool. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, because like it was really cool to see, like, even though, like you were like two different personalities for sure. Like the like you still like maintain the connection and the friendship throughout. Be like, hey, we have a friend anniversary. This is important to both of us, and we're gonna keep it because like not many of us, as we go through the years, not many friends, have friend anniversaries, and this is really important. So it was really cool to see. So yeah, so just a little setup before we get to the exercise for a bit. I want you to, or we're going to keep the same characters in this exercise.
Okay.
But what I want you to think of is just like, what would you want to see change in your own character? Like, what would be like? Let's do a 7-year plan. 7-year plan. Or like, what would you want to like? So, for example, like if my character was like, I want to like my character was really shy. I would want to have my character be really confident and brave. In the span of 7 years and everything like that.
Mm.
So be thinking about that. Don't have to say that now, but yeah, just be thinking about that because we'll play with it in the exercise.
Ooh.
Yay! Let's go to the exercise. Yay! Here we are.
Nice exercise.
Cool. Great. Am I going this way? Okay. Cool. Great. So in this exercise, this is called connection steps. So how it goes is you're going to take your 7-year plan for your character, and this is something going to be thinking about either we're going to be oscillating between phrases or poses as you progress with your character. And so because we've had friend anniversaries come up before, we're going to have like periodic friend anniversaries as we go along, and they're going to be like short little scenes or poses, and we're going to figure out I'm going to look at like how we are aware of each other, and we don't necessarily have to like do full scenes or anything like that, but just kind of like these are awareness steps of how your connection is. And so like it was discussed before, like these friends may diverge completely and may be disconnected in a lot of different ways. There may be ways that they're more connected, but we're going to kind of see how it ebb and flows, because let's just go with the scenario that like you only see each other at the friend anniversary. Like you don't see
Ooh.
each other. Oh, so don't see each other outside of the friend anniversary, but every year on this date to this date, you guys hang out and do a friend anniversary adventure. So I would say, first off, think about your own character's like ideal pose, like physical pose or phrase that they would want to say at the end of the 7 years. Like, what would be like the final, you know, thing? So be thinking about that. Write it down if you need to, or yeah, or yeah. So because we're gonna go backwards a little bit.
All right.
Yay! Exercises.
I got it. I got it.
Got it. Okay. Let me know
You
when
can
you're
play
finished.
along, Pam. You can play along. You can play along in the chat, by the
Yeah.
way.
Yeah. If you feel like, if you want to focus on either Desiree or Kevin and what you would want to see happen with that character, see if they match up with our improvisers. So
Okay.
yeah.
Good suggestion. All right. I have
So
my.
okay, you have yours. Aaron, do you have yours?
Sure.
Okay, cool. And Pam, do you have yours?
Yeah. Yeah.
If not, it's okay. You can just
No.
follow along. That's cool. Yeah. Yeah. So, but yeah, okay. So we're gonna reverse back. So we have our finished product. And we're gonna be leading up to it. So let's do a present day. Like let's take just the scene that we had. Let's have a pose and a phrase that your character would say, and we'll go from one character to the next, and then I'll go through the next step. So this is like connection step 1. Okay. So Shannon, as Desiree, what would be how you would pose, and what would be a phrase that you would say as your character Desiree?
Let's do this.
Awesome, great. And Aaron, with Kevin or Kev. Excuse me.
All emergency numbers on speed dial.
Love it. Great. Wonderful. Sweet. So yeah, so hold those poses, keep those poses, got those phrases. Perfect. We know what those are. Okay. So we're going to year 2. And we're going to see, we're aiming towards that ideal that you've written down. But what would be like the next step that would be kind of closer to the present day, but a little bit towards your goal? Be thinking about that, and when you're ready, just nod, and we can. Yeah.
Next time, definitely next time.
Cool. And Aaron?
I brought 50 different options, and they're all viable.
Sweet. Okay, cool. So that's year, that's like year 2. Perfect, great. And let's leap forward just a little bit, a couple years to year 4. Yeah, so right in the middle, in between present day and your ideal goal for your character.
Yeah. You can do it. You can do it. I believe in you. You can do it. I believe in you.
Yeah. And Aaron?
His name is Captain Bluebeard, and I'm teaching him how to talk.
Cool. All right, great. Sweet. And let's do year 6, not 7, but year 6.
Aaron, you go first.
Okay.
This is the year, Desiree. This is the year where I go first for everything.
I'll go, then you go. I'll go. How about you go and then I'll go? There it is. You go, then I'll go.
Sweet. And let's have our final ideal pose and phrase. And we can start off with those phrases and then do a small. Let's do like 5 lines of a beginning of a scene.
This year, I planned everything. They're all out of control, Desiree type approved activities. They're all lined up, and your ass is jumping first.
I am finally listening. And yeah, I'll go first if you want, but only if you feel good about it.
Yeah, you want to close the crocodile's mouth. You don't want to try to pull it open. You got to keep it closed.
Okay. Just so you know, I mean, it's cool. This particular thing is an alligator, but that's just from past experience. Not stepping on your toes, but I've got it. I've got this.
I can't believe you corrected me factually.
And scene. Great job. Wonderful scene. Oh, yay. So yeah. Oh, that was wonderful. So yeah, shake it off. Yeah. And I'm also, I want to pause just a little bit. Pam, which character did you choose to look at, focus on?
Shannon, I'd have to. Sorry, Desiree.
Oh, Desiree. Okay. And I'm curious, like, what did you want for Desiree?
I wanted, she mentioned earlier that she thought there was a doubt, or maybe the character was feeling doubt.
Hmm.
I wanted to see more of maybe, I think the doubt maybe was coming across to me as disconnection. So I wanted to see a stronger connection this time. I don't know that I saw it though.
Oh, yeah,
Ooh.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Shannon, how does that relate to you, to what you wanted?
Yeah, I it's interesting. I think that Pam is right. I think that Desiree had wanted I think that Desiree ended up with a stronger connection uh to Kev, but not necessarily a stronger connection to self.
Mm,
Okay, that's, yep, yep.
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
think
yeah.
Pam nailed it.
And Kev, yeah.
Uh,
What was this something that you wanted? Yeah.
Kevin's 7-step goal was be more like Desiree.
Ah,
Uh, and that was where he was hoping to get to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and mine was listen to Kev. Listen to what he wants. Just listen.
Well, see, that's why I said disconnection, because yes, you listened, but I wasn't getting that you were still committed to connecting to what he was telling you.
yeah.
I
Right?
I would agree. I'd agree. Like there was still some residual like I want to do this. I'm listening to you, but maybe she hadn't like she's listening, but she's not hearing.
Why are these
Just
two people friends?
instilling. Hmm?
I saw that.
Why, yeah, why are these two people friends? It's pretty clear that Kev thinks Desiree is really fun and outgoing. What is Desiree into this friendship for?
Oh, interesting question.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
Oh, I don't. I think there's something to be said about having a yes buddy, like like a person who enjoys doing the things you do and taking along. So as Kev became more like Desiree, I think you saw the connection deepen. Maybe.
I'm interested, Luke, in is there a possibility to in a relationship? Okay, this is okay, convoluted. Is it possible to be connected to like not the person, but the something that you're getting out of the relationship? Oop, Pam is already nodding.
Oh
That-
yeah.
oh, you didn't ask me, but
Oh yes, yeah, yeah. Pam, do you want to go ahead? Yeah.
oh well, no, I was just agreeing. Yes, I think that is a possibility at times. I think that's how couples stay together. Yeah, it's
Mm.
not necessarily the person, but what that person, the ego that that person feeds, or whatever it may be. That could be an ego thing here. This dynamic between Desiree and Kevin.
Yeah. Yeah, and like I mean, it's a classic thing of the opposites attract. So like, totally two different personalities like attract each other because there's a quality in the other person that they really that they want for themselves maybe, or or that kind of helps complete them. So yeah, and in this friendship for sure, like there was a lot of like, let's throw caution to the wind. Wait, no, we need to be cautious just a little bit, but I need to throw it to the wind and everything like that. So there was like an oscillation that was happening with that. I'm curious too, like my last question is just like, do you feel like your characters trusted each other more by the end of the connection steps?
For me, yes. I
Yeah.
felt like my character definitely had an understanding as to the at least the importance of why listening was why I had to listen, and also trusted that we were still going to have a good time. Like Kevin always provides this good time even if he's bringing the diaper bag. Like
Yeah.
it's like he needs it.
Yeah.
We
It's
need
a
it.
long trip. We need a diaper bag.
We need it.
And I also want to say, like, I saw throughout the journeys that you both took with your own characters, like it started being less, starting with I phrases and more about you phrases. And so
Mm.
it was about like really focusing on like, I'm going to connect to this person in this way. I'm going to presuppose maybe some things being like, maybe, I can be more adventurous. And maybe I do need to think about some other things or be a little bit more cautious too. And so that was naturally happening. And so it was really cool to see that, like, it seemed like your friendship was growing closer.
Yeah. Yeah. I even got that spot where Aaron, when you were like, oh, I got this parrot. And I like my character, Shannon, but also like my character, but Shannon was like, you did it. You did something cool, man. So yeah, it's like I could feel exactly what you're talking about. Like Luke, like we slowly we're wanting to help each other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That parrot got pulled right into that fan boat we were riding. Just so you know, it's out on the swamp buggy.
Oh.
That's well. Pam, Luke, anything else to add to that part? This was a great experience. Yeah.
I think I'm okay.
Yeah.
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 Then
I'm good. Yeah.
on to the next one. Thank you,
Awesome.
Luke. This is amazing.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Luke.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Doing it. Yay! It's
Hey.
Pam.
It is Pam. She's right there.
Yeah.
You did the thing. It's great.
You did the
Good.
thing. You did the thing. Listen, so we talked a little bit about how connection is showing up in your life, specifically how it's showing up in your connection or disconnection to the city. And now we've played a couple of games. We're like getting into how we use improv to connect, to help us connect. But we want to hear about your career life and how you're connecting to that. How is connection coming up, and then a little bit about how maybe improv could infuse connection into your career.
Yeah.
That's a great question. And it's timely because here in the last month, I was placed in a different team. And it's a new team that I know very little. I understand what the concept of the team is about, but my role in that team, and I was just kind of dropped into the team and told to, come up with the project and pursue it, not knowing who I'd be working with, or really, I'm really just having to build connections with new people that I've never worked with before, reaching out. It's been kind of just day by day. I'll talk to one person and make that connection, and then they'll say, okay, you need to go and visit with 4 or 5 different other people. So I'm meeting with a lot of different people to gather the information and the data I need to move forward with the project that I've been assigned. So it's been interesting because I do feel like in a way I'm pivoting. I'm thinking I'll go to one person or one group, and that person will be my resource. And I find out that no, it's not them at all. Let me switch. No, it's these. So I feel like I'm being kind of pointed sort of like back and forth, like, no, it's not them, it's them. No, it's them. No, it's them. So that's been what I've been encountering here in the last 3 or 4 weeks, and still building connections because I'm still getting some help, but it's been slow for me in that way.
I don't know what you do, Pam, but that description of your experience rings very true for myself, having been in different corporate structures and such. Could you remind me what it is that kind of work that you're involved in?
I work in IT as a program manager.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So, and this new team, we've been in IT over 20 years, but this new team in particular, not only is the team is not new, but I'm new to the team. And then we've had a restructure of our entire division. So people that used to do one role, now they're doing a different role. So just having to try to find how we will all work together and our teams interlock so we can drive the project forward. It's interesting. It's interesting.
Mm. I feel like, oh, I'm like I'm missing Luke in this in this conversation because I was in the game that we were playing and you were nodding, you're like, yes, absolutely. The idea of being connected to a thing, not necessarily the person. I'm
Hmm.
hearing some of that
Yeah,
in your work. Like it sounds like you're connected to the project and the
exactly.
work, but
Exactly.
not necessarily, yeah.
Any one person, and so there's so many different people and or groups that
Mm.
it could play into this project being developed. It could be one person, it could be 10, it could be a group of 20. It all depends. And now I'm on an exploration, there it goes again, to figure out who I'm to work with and how they will help me with the
Mhm.
project, or if they're how they will engage in the project, if it's just some information or if they're actually going to be assigned to the project. It's just going through those motions now.
Mhm.
Hmm.
It reminds me of the very top of this show when we were talking about finding one thing, finding like one
Hmm.
thing or one person
Mhm.
uh, to connect to. When we talk about that in improv, we're talking about focus, right? Sometimes we're talking about drive, the characters want. What does the protagonist of the story want?
Mhm.
And how can they connect to that? And while people and characters and all sorts of stuff are coming in and out, they are consistently driving towards that one want. And I wonder if that sort of resonates with you. Instead of trying to focus on everything else, like, oh, that character, I need to focus on helping that character, I need to focus on building this bridge, I need to focus on building this environment. Instead, it's like, I need to focus on getting my voice back as a mermaid, right? And so I'm wondering what you are focusing on. Does that resonate with you? Are you focusing on like one thing or bigger?
I feel like I'm focusing on one thing, and right now it's acquainting myself with the resources or SME subject matter experts one at a time. And as I meet and figure out what that person does, and then they point me in a different direction, then I focus there. And
Mm,
that's probably what I have been doing here for exactly what you just described here in the
mm,
last couple of weeks is,
If, if I could put on like my corporate employee and tech industry kind of hat, it's whenever you try to get a job opening, like when you have a requisition, it's always responsibilities and like qualifications or something along those nature. But the way you describe it, Pam, it's much less here is a slot that Pam has to fit in, and more of go out there and start throwing webs, start
yeah,
connecting yourself to all these different people. The
yeah,
job doesn't exist. You have to make the network, and that is in some ways the job. Yeah, and that I
yeah.
feel like there's like a corporate hustle in your future, Pam, where you can go give lessons and lectures on this stuff. I'm sure.
Wow, I love it. Thank you. Yeah, in my current at my current company, I've heard several even executives say that they were asked to tapped on the shoulder or asked to do particular projects that they didn't have any idea. It's like, I don't know where to go, I don't know what to do. But
mm,
management believed in them, and they said, I jumped in and I started just networking and understanding what it was, and before you know it, I had it figured out. So I do like the fact that my company allows for that kind of growth and expansion in that way, to be able to just get in and figure it out, as opposed to, you're supposed to know everything, because as you know, we don't know everything. So yeah, and I've
yeah.
been in IT for 20 years, but yeah, I know how to manage a project, but I don't necessarily know what is going on where I am right now. So we'll see what happens.
I love this because basically, from jumping in at the beginning of this show, behind the scenes, we're like, I'm not an improviser. But what you just described is the epitome of improv, right?
Mhm.
Jumping in. Yes, you on screen and you in the chat. You know you're improvising right now, right? Being dumped into a space where you're not sure exactly what is going on, but it also sounds like you're surrounded by team members or other improvisers who are supporting your growth,
Yes.
who want to see you succeed. And
Yes.
so your job is to a little bit just like peek, what does it feel like over here? What does it feel like over here?
Mhm.
Who are the where do I need to make connections? And then how will those connections support me, even if I don't know 100% of what I'm doing?
Okay, Shannon, I'm an improviser. Okay.
Ooh,
And you
let's
can
do
be
it.
on
Let's do
screen.
it right now.
I
Yes,
love I love
yes,
to
now that
see
you've
I'm
done
not
it,
an improviser, but I am, okay?
you
Thank you.
are.
You made it
And
clear.
now that you have been officially inducted into the improv community, thank you, Erin.
Thank you.
Blessings. We're gonna play an improv game. Erin, what are we gonna play?
We are talking one
Word,
at.
a
Come on, Pip.
Can we start over?
yes,
I'm
yes.
sorry.
Do
I
it
thought we
again, Erin.
had a
Do it
break in
again.
there before
Okay.
the improv game. I'm sorry.
You
Okay,
gotta
go
get
ahead.
word
Let's
control.
start it. This is fun. All right. We are saying a story one,
Word
At
a.
time.
time.
Yeah.
This is so great. This is so great.
Yeah.
So to make it easy for us, also let us know if whether let us just play along with us in the chat. Say hi. We'd love to answer your questions. To make it easier for us, we're gonna go Pam, me, Aaron. Pam, me, Aaron. And we're one person, okay? We're one person telling a story about something that happened to us. Luke, you're down there. Luke, give
Hello.
us what's something that could happen to a person that they might need connecting over?
Ooh, okay, okay. So, the telescope has broken.
The
Yeah,
telescope has broken. The
Broken.
telescope has broken. Great. This
yeah.
is the telescope has broken. This person is speaking. Pam, take us away.
Today
The
Telescope.
was
perfect.
But
dog it.
It
broke.
Oh,
my
Career
in
shambles.
what?
am
I
Going.
to
do
I
should
call
telescope.
man
he
Always
knows
how
to
fix.
telescopes
thankfully
He
is
just
around
the
corner.
telescope.
man.
Please
Come
Rescue
me
I
used
to
say
that
I
was
never
ever
ever
going
to
call
telescope
because
he
is
really
shady.
he
doesn't
Pay
for
any
dinners.
but
I
Do
trust
him
with
telescopes.
Yeah.
That's when Luke comes in. Extendable limbs coming into the story. Telescoping in and out.
Telescope in and out. Well done, Pam. You did it. You played an improv game with us. Oh my gosh. Let's start wrapping up. Let's talk about how that went. Let's go. Telescope.
I noticed something. Hey, everybody.
Hello.
We're all together.
We're all together now.
I noticed something that I think might lead us into a good way to finish this conversation, Shannon.
I'm ready.
Okay. Just the same way you poked Pam on disconnection, I think it's really interesting that our shared personality had someone that they were connected to. And in that connection, there are both things they liked and disliked, both expectations and limitations on those expectations. Like, Telescope Man is going to come help me with my telescope. He's shady as hell and won't pay for dinner, but he will come and pay for and help with my telescope issue. And I think that's a really important part of connection, is that a lot of stories, especially around romantic connection, are like it's all or nothing, right? Around friendships, it's like your bestie and then like a bunch of has-beens, right? Like it's this like 100% or zero mentality. And in honesty, all connections have their limitations. All connections have this thing where you can trust people to this point. And I think that's very beautiful and human to be very aware of that and embrace it. And it leads to better telescopes. I'll just put it out there. So that
I do. I concur. Pam, Luke.
I concur.
I too concur.
Yeah, you concur. There's something about what okay, in two things about that. One, the all or nothing as it pertains to the city, the disconnect that we were talking about earlier, right? There is such a want that you want to be here, Pam. Like there is such a want for us to have a connection to a place, a person, a thing. And even when that place, person, thing might be letting us down, you're right, Aaron. It's not all or nothing. It's like, yeah, dang old Austin, Texas. Sometimes they be tripping hard, but there are also things I love about it here and want to reconnect or stay connected to that. And then in your work, Pam, I'm also finding that same thing. Like it's not all or nothing, even though I can hear the trepidation in your voice as far as just being in a new spot. It feels like, and that's not fun. It feels like you still have connection within the organization that you want to keep.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Good job. That's why you're the pro.
Hey, Pam, is there anything that's happened tonight in this conversation or just the way that you brought up your own life that's going to impact either what's happening at work or what's happening with you in Austin?
Yeah, well, actually, I'm comfortable now. I think I was uncomfortable, maybe out of sorts a little bit about Austin and then my new role. But now I feel comfortable, like I'm where I'm supposed to be and I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. And it's not a matter of knowing it all or being comfortable all the time here in the city. I mean, I know the city, but finding my way and reconnecting in the city, it'll be, sometimes I'll have great time and sometimes it won't be, but I can be comfortable either way. So yes, I would say yes, definitely. I'm glad I joined. Thank you.
Yeah. Good. Yes. For those people that are out in the out there in the chat that are just like, improv, schmimprov. What what can improv teach me? Pam, give me two words, two phrases that you're gonna tell them.
Confidence and belief in self.
Well, Luke, Pam stole all the words, so I hope you have some left.
Somewhere in there. Yeah. Yeah, like, and also, like, I mean, what's really really fun is that, like, okay, even though I may not have the next word in this exercise, being like, you know what, I'm gonna throw in one and see if it makes sense and see if it works, and it does, and it's really great. And so, like, but the thing is, like, in that exercise, as well as and a city as a whole, like, we're all connected. Like, we're not just by ourselves the whole time. And so, like, you don't have to, like, there's you don't have to come up with all the answers all the time. Like, that's exhausting. So it's just like there's a lot of connection, and knowing that, like, hey, this person may not know everything as well. Great, cool, and can, like, figure it out all together.
Yeah, I really I loved this exercise. I also really liked how you led us through just thinking about whether it's 7 years or 7 days, like a person that you want to be, or a way you want to move into a person that you want to be, and taking little baby steps and connecting with self in each of those steps. Yeah, it's not a completely different person at the end of the line. Is just parts of you that you're trying to learn to be.
Yeah, and then, it's just like, so, yeah, like, you're by yourself, and you learn a different way that you want to go about the world, and then you start reconnecting with, like, in this case, the friendship, and seeing, like, okay, does this still align with the friendship, or am I, like, how am I changing from my past self into my future self, like, and how does that relate to the other person?
Absolutely.
I'd like to add one thing I saw with the conversation between Desiree and Kevin that just came to me, and it was based on conversations, or a class, actually, Shannon, that you taught, that I attended, about transitions, and the friendship from the time that Luke set up the scenario and mentioned, each year, okay, we're in year this, 3 years, 4 years. That to me represented transition as much as connection. And I think, again, if I can add to what I said earlier, I think even in connection and through friendships and connections, each individual's transitioning, be it small or, yeah. So I thought about that because I think about transitioning quite a bit. I don't want to stay the same person. So yeah, I thought that was really, really important to say.
Yeah.
We did it. Look, see what we did today, Journeyers. You can do this too. Just put in the chat that you want to be part of this world.
We don't have the rights, right? We don't have the rights. We can't do that song.
We've all been elevated. We've all been elevated.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Aaron, let's say thank you to Pam and thank you to Luke.
Thank you, Pam. Thank you, Luke.
This way. It's so good. You did it. Thanks for being here. We'll say bye to them, and then we'll get out of here in a second. Bye, Pam. Bye, Luke. Thank you.
This show makes me feel great, Shannon. Good job.
Right? Doesn't it?
Yeah.
Doesn't it? It's like, we're learning things. We're doing things and learning things. Tell me what your takeaways are for the evening, Aaron.
I have many friends who are into so many different ways of categorizing people based on personalities or when you were born or all these different things. And I think it's a lot about people wanting to know themselves. And in this whole hour, I have come to realization that being like a Desiree would scare Aaron to death. Like Aaron's a lot closer to a Kevin, right? And then I had that thought as I was playing that character. It's like Shannon's kind of a Desiree, Aaron's kind of a Kevin. And then Pam described the way that she was working and integrating herself. And I said, oh, wait a second. I kind of feel a little bit like that too. Not that Pam's a character, but I could feel that identifying. And I realized that no matter who we are, when we get a topic like connection, some of us are going to be like, I'm not very good at connecting. I'm just not very good at it, right? I'm not a connector. But what this hour has taught me is that, okay, so maybe we are in different places, but we can all move up. And if we're real honest with ourselves, you're in different places in one scenario, but then you rotate to a different place in your life and you're in a different place. So what's really beautiful about learning to connect and about wanting to connect, about having a desire to explore the relationships, is it doesn't matter where you are, either in your skills or in your life. It's about the motion. It's about the direction towards connection. And that's so, it's so enabling and relieving to have that realization, because it means I don't have to be perfect. I don't have to be as good as anybody. Definitely don't have to be as good as Pam, but I can get closer. And I think that has really lifted me up as I've listened to and interacted with all of you today.
You did it. You did it. Listen, friends, family, journeyers. This is improv on and off the stage. Off the stage, Aaron, you've nailed it. On the stage, this journeyers, what we get to do is this, what Aaron is talking about, right? As far as realizing, as far as practicing how to become aware that we're not here by ourselves, and that other people are in different stages just like we are. And when we play characters, when we build stories, when we practice transitions, when we practice scene painting, these are all ways that we are connecting to the scene and connecting to each other and those relationships that we're building. We're practicing that on and
off the
the
stage.
stage. We couldn't have done it better, folks. Bye.
Nope.